This is where I basically tell you guys the obvious stuff you already know. My name is Luxeley, playing a Boomkin whose name is Caridian, which happened to be a catalyst or a villain in the original series of Star Trek, and I am in Deepwind Gorge. I just told you everything you already know. Maybe if you stick around, we could find a few tips and tricks for BGs, for Boomkins, because we're going to go through them right here and now. Now, as a Boomkin, I will focus on mid here just simply because I have very strong AoE. Even though it's been nerfed a little bit recently, it's still pretty strong. And in places like Deepwind Gorge or Eye of the Storm or any given capture the node map, there's going to be places where players congregate, enemy players congregate, and AoE is king. If they let you AoE, which essentially the Horde here aren't letting me AoE. They're just like, he's a nice little Boomkin, we're going to let him AoE. So, no problem. Mr. Paladin, soon it's going to be, thanks for playing. Yep, no retribution for you. Do not pass go, do not collect $200, but thank you for playing. And the mage, he ice blocked, must be very, very cold. Hope he brought a sweater. Now, here's a warrior who just watched a few too many Bajira videos and figures, hey, I can 1v5 mid. But of course, he realizes he doesn't have his 2 pocket healers with him, so it didn't quite work out. Dead. Thanks for playing. Now we're going to root, well, didn't root him, but we beamed him. Now you could actually make a macro, a one-touch macro for mass entanglement and a beam. And it's a one-touch macro, so you could just hit it and boom, it automatically roots him in the beam with mass entanglement. I don't know if you guys knew that. On my Boomkin video, which eventually I'll produce. I know I've been promising, but I haven't quite produced it yet, although it's all I got to do is really the voiceover, is really put everything together. But there's going to be macros in those videos. We're going to do a guide for Boomkins, going to do a guide for Marksman, we're going to do a guide for Affliction, and one other class I was going to do a guide for, oh, Shadow Priest. My advice is, if you want to play a Shadow Priest, play Holy or Discipline. That's just my thoughts. Starfall. See, every dead. See, that's why you don't want to play Shadow Priest. They're just glass cannons in a ping pong. I was gonna say ping pong in a pinball machine. So that's basically what Shadow Priests are. So it looks like we're very early in the match, but the Horde have a bit of an edge on us. So hopefully we can tweak this out, eke this out, whatever the word is. Warrior, big problems. Full moon, he's dead. Thanks for playing. Love full moon, but it can be easily avoided, which is kind of a problem with it. You can physically avoid it if you see it being cast. You can range it. You can move out of the way to a certain extent. Now, the thing is, if you're rooted, that's another thing. But the problem is, things like roots, things like fear, or any given CC that can be broken is a lot easily broken now than it was earlier in the X-Pack. At least that's something that I've noticed. And let me know in the comments if you guys have noticed the same thing. I'm very interested to hear about your experience, and I certainly do respond to comments because I feel if you guys could watch the video this long, which is like 3 or 4 minutes, I certainly can take out a few seconds to respond to your comments, provided you're respectful to me, provided you're respectful to other people in the comment section. And my speculation is, or my experience is, I'm starting to notice that certain CC is breaking on a lot less damage than it did, say, 6 months ago, even a year ago. And I think what we can infer by that is that Blizzard sets a certain amount of damage that, for example, is going to break roots. But as we grow and progress in the X-Pack, in other words, gaining more artifact power, gaining more artifact traits, gaining gear, etc., as we grow, as we progress our character, as our character gets stronger, it seems like that the root that broke a year ago or 6 months ago breaks on the same exact damage now, but we're doing more damage. I don't think that Blizzard is adjusting incrementally for that. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have noticed the same thing, because I'm noticing my roots and my fears are breaking a lot easier than they used to. And that's my speculation. That's what I'm inferring by that. Oh, we got mid. We got mid. Priest has got problems. This priest has problems. This priest is dead. Thanks for playing, bro. Dinosaur's like, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, now he just disappeared. Maybe it was a figment of my imagination, but I thought I did see a raptor there. Oh, blink ice block. Hope he brought a sweater, because there's no doubt that ice block is cold. Right now, the mage is praying. He's like praying. He's like, whatever, it didn't work. Move on. It's over. He's dead. So it looks like the Horde are trying to assault this base. And once again, just free casting. Free casting should not be this free. This is not necessarily good gameplay. This is just being in the right place and finding these nooks and crannies where they're not attacking me, and also them not attacking me. Part of it is I know where to stand. I find these very, very odd places to stand in battlegrounds where I'm not often harassed as a ranged player. But the reality is I also don't get heals, because just like the opposing team isn't exactly always picking up where I am, neither are my healers. So it kind of is a trade-off. But you don't find me standing in these conventional, typical places. And I mean, in this case, I am, because I want to be somewhat near the flag so they can't cap it. But usually, I'm as far back hiding somewhere. I'm very good at hiding. Hiding as a caster, especially in a melee favorite X-Pack, is highly, highly advisable. It really is. You gotta find these crazy places to hide. These crazy places where they don't necessarily know where the damage is coming from. I mean, in this case, I mean, I know I'm talking about this and I'm not actually doing it, because here I am once again, kind of out in the middle of the open, AoEing, but I'm also doing it because, again, they're not attacking me. They're not. Rule number one, don't let the casters free cast, especially a Boomkin, especially an Arcane Mage, especially a Destro Lock. You don't want to sit there and let them free cast, especially if they're using AoE. I mean, there's one thing I've always said about PvP, and that is you see a lot of talents PvP talents that are augmenting or improving AoE. And the fact is, if you have time to AoE in PvP, the other team is doing something very wrong. That is a fact. That's not speculation. So I don't understand why Blizzard buffs it in PvP that much. It's not something you really should have this much of an opportunity to do, because I'm not hiding here. I'm not doing as I tell others to do. I'm not hiding. I'm out there in the middle of the open and I'm doing damage. Moving right along. Where's this Boomkin trying to go? He just looks a bit confused. Now he's blinking away, and soon it's going to be, thanks for playing. Thanks for playing, bro. So it looks like we have the flag, we have two bases, and now we have a bit of a lead. So we've turned things around. This has been a very, very competitive battleground. This is the way I like them to be. I don't like it when I get my ass kicked. I mean, then again, who does? Who really stands in line for that? Let's be honest. But by the same token, oh, somebody's finally attacking me. Well, that means we got to run away. Run away. So I don't like it when I get my ass kicked. Like I said, nobody's going to hang around and stand in line for that sort of thing. And I don't like it in those battlegrounds where you're kicking ass and you're camping the graveyard either. Occasionally, yeah, who's going to lie and say it's not fun? It is fun, but I want something competitive. I want something where if I beat somebody, I know it's because I outplayed them, not because I'm on the right team or I played the right class. And this one has been a bit competitive. In the sense, yeah, they're letting me free cast, and I'm dropping a hell of a lot of AoE and doing huge damage, getting a lot of kills. But it's not a testament of skill. It's just them, for some reason, not wanting to hurt me. And I have to really thank them for that. And it looks like we're going to get this node. Got somebody capping it. Nobody else is near to contest us. So, yep, we're going to get it. We don't have a base. They have two bases, but that one's going to be on the clock soon. So now I'm going to try to get mid. see if we can. There's been a lot of fights here at mid. Mid is not essential in this battleground like some people might think it is. You can do just as well by having both mines and not having mid. But it does help to have it. You don't have to have it 100% of the time. You don't have to force the issue, especially if the other team is stacking mid. But, oh, there's a word. See, he's the only one that's actually trying to give me a hard time. Charge stun, but now we're just going to blink and run away. And I was going to say that for some reason he's just not pursuing me. Like, he's the only one out of 15 players that has the right idea. Not to let the Boomkin freecast Starfall. Not to let the Boomkin freecast Full Moon. He understands it. He knows the rules. He knows what he should be doing. And he's doing it, but I don't know. Maybe he kind of feels that he's not going to catch me, so he doesn't want to bother chasing me. But out of 15 players, he's the only one that really made somewhat of an effort to keep me from all this free casting. And it looks like the mage has got some serious problems. Dead. Thanks for playing. There's the priest. Doing some damage. He's stunned by the druid. Got bash on him. Looks like we're going to get mid. Hopefully, but we still don't have a base. We have the cart. Going to try to help out with the cart. Let's see what we could do. Oh, we could do that. Starfall. Maybe we can. Wouldn't it be great if there was like a knockdown on Starfall too? Now, don't say that's a crazy idea, because back in MOP, I believe, at the beginning of MOP, Warlocks, Rain of Fire, Destro only, had Rain of Fire, and it was instant cast. You could cast it on the run, in other words, also. And it stunned you when it hit, or had a chance to stun you when it hit you. So don't say that Starfall can't have a knockback. So if that got through the cracks of Blizzard back in MOP, guess what? It could happen again, and they could throw a knockback on Starfall. I think it's incredibly OP and dumb idea, just like giving Frost DKs an airstrike like you just saw. What other class in the game would have an airstrike? This is Luxley saying, whatever it is, by you guys, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night, do your best to make it epic. Guys, make it great. Why not, right? Just do your best. Do your best. Don't care if you win or lose. Just do your best. It's all that matters.